Islam is one of the strongest and biggest religions in this world. If you take the most populated and one of the biggest nations in this world, which is China, has only over 1.5 billions of people living in that nation. Now, if you take Islam, it has now crossed over 2 billions of people spread across this world. So, what are the factors for this massive uprise, for the massive growth of this religion, and why this religion is growing at a very fast pace? So, I'm going to tell you on how I saw and understood and perceived by the world and situations around me, not because of some of the graphs and studies or something. Okay. So, why this religion is growing? One of the most important factor is because of its belief. People actually believe in this religion. They would die for this cause. And because of this strong belief, they have a strong sense of community. No matter who you are, even if you are enemies or not, even if you know that person or not, if there is a problem that is happening to a group of people in one of the most rural areas in a nation, there would be a revolt happening on the other side of the world. Such is the sense of this community. No matter what, no matter who you are, they would have a strong sense of brotherhood, a community. Why there is a strong sense of belief and community is because of its ideology. You have to understand that Islam is the only religion which has a strong parameters, a strong boundaries of what is right and what is wrong. Whereas if you take the other religions, all the religions are good, but what they taught initially 2000 years ago is one. What they're following right now is different. As the time passed by, things started to get manipulated, things started to get diluted. People started to change the rules according to their needs. But whereas Islam, what they taught 2000 years ago is what they're still preaching and following currently. Why? Because of it. Why is it in that way? One of the most important thing is that one of the main important aspect of Islam is to attain Jannah, heaven, to understand and seek God. They have a true belief and sense of idea of afterlife, after the world. There is a life after the life after death, and they have a true sense of to seek and understand God. Now, how do they attain and seek heaven? Is by following certain kind of rules and traditions and rituals and making the world that they're living right now is actually heaven. Now, if you have happened to see an individual who is a true believer in this religion of Islam, and there's another group of people or an individual comes in contact with this individual, after a certain period of time, this group of people or individual start to change their idea and their belief, not because of the force by this individual, but because of these actions and the belief in what they're believing in their cause, right? Because of it, these people get to convert their mindset. Now you have to understand that Islam and Christianity have started in one of the most rural areas in the Arab world. The initial believers were very handful. But after 2000 years ago, this is one of the last religion. After Islam, there are many other religions actually made or formed or still practicing. Whereas the other religions are falling apart. Whereas this religion is actually growing at a very fast pace. And one of the most important aspects for this massive growth is because Islam is pro-family. They're for pro-children. They tell families to have many children. And it's the duty of their children to be as best as they could be in this world. They should be as wealthy as possible. They should be as powerful as they could be. And then they should go across the world and have a big and have a wider and bigger community by having more children, having a more powerful community. That is why this religion is growing compared to the other religion. Whereas the other religion, they don't have a strong sense of community. They try to go in a very small sheep they try to go into the family, my family and my children, and also their family is also broken. So that is why the other religions are falling apart and this religion is growing. Islam is also one of the most hated, most heated, and has most number of enemies compared to any other religion. Now, if you take the nature of this world and the universe, you will understand that anything which has most enemies, who gets most heated, who has most hate, will eventually come out as the phoenix bird from the ashes to the top because of its sheer will and resilient mindset. Not because of the mindset I'm talking in this religion, but because of its sheer belief for their cause. So this aspect of this religion is so strong. No matter what, they never try to bend the rules. They never manipulate of what they believe in. Any rulers or anyone who goes against it, eventually they will fall apart because there will be a revolt. There will be Hawa coming after it. But there are certain group of people who actually bend and violate the rules, and because of that, we hate those religions. But the true believers in this, believers of this community, would never harm anyone. So that is the teachings of this religion. And yeah, so these are the few factors why this religion is growing, apart from many other factors also. But these are the main factors of what I saw and understood and perceived. So yeah, these are my intake on this religion.